welcome to the Conscious Billionaire to Be show on Manifest High Net Worth TV. I am your host, Fri Chihak, and I am excited, so excited to bring you a powerhouse today. And her name is Sophie Mahoney. Sophie, go ahead and I'll just let you introduce yourself, introduce your powerhouse thriving business, what you do, so our viewers know who they're speaking with or whom they're listening to.
So my name is Sophie, and I created my business a couple of months ago, so I'm super, super excited about it. And I am a relationship and parenting coach and mentor. And my vision for this business is to shatter parenting paradigms and to give parents their power back, to help them find their inner power and to really teach them and mentor them on how they can use their fears to really thrive in life rather than struggle.
There is a lot of, I'm a parent and I consider my kids to be really easy actually, but there are quite a few challenges that parents face. So I'm really glad you're in that space, and I can't wait to hear how you are helping your clients and using powerful metaphysical strategies in your business. But I wanted to touch base first on why. Why did you decide you want to be a billionaire? What brought this incredible goal into your life?
So it's interesting you asked me this because it hasn't been in my mindset until very recently, because I realized very recently that in order to create the change that I want to create, and in order to have access to the resources that I want to have access to, I need to be a billionaire, because I want to be a philanthropist. I want to be the biggest philanthropist.
Oh my gosh.
So I came to this realization that I need to have access, and I want to have access, and I desire to have access to extraordinary amount of money.
Yes.
And yes, so that is the inspiration behind wanting to be a billionaire.
Yes, that is fantastic. I love philanthropy. There is so much that money does in this world, and we were just talking about Bill Gates before we started recording the video, and how much good he does in this world as a result of having all of that financial abundance, the legacy that he has created for generations of people who haven't even known or heard about him, because people will come into this world and benefit from what he's created. So yeah, that is fantastic. And I just want to say, when you're a billionaire and I'm a billionaire, you just hit me up and say, hey, Fri, I need $10 million for this philanthropy. I'll be like, yeah, let's
all
get
right,
check, girl. So we're gonna be doing this together. It's so exciting. Yes. Sophie, I know you use metaphysical strategies in your business and in your life. Could you please share with us, give us your top metaphysical strategy and tell us how you're using that in your business and in your life and how it's affecting you?
So I feel like my biggest strategy is the constant awareness that I am consciousness, that the consciousness that created the universe is in me, is everywhere.
Powerful.
It's in my cells, it's in my bones, it's in my muscles, it's in my organs. So I am consciousness, and consciousness is infinite, consciousness is limitless, consciousness is abundant. So I guess the biggest aspect of my what is the word that you use? Not a system, but my
metaphysical strategy?
My strategy, yes, thank you, is that's the first thing I do in the morning when I wake up, is I connect with consciousness.
How do you do that? How do you connect with consciousness when you wake up?
I'm very present, and I just tune into my body. I tune into the light. I tune into the elements. I tune into my intuition, and then I just listen. And then
would it be, because when you're thinking about it, I'm trying to think exactly how would someone who isn't necessarily naturally inclined towards connecting that awareness of themselves as consciousness, when they wake up in the morning, how do they do that? So you're saying, from what I think I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you sort of become aware of your body and how it's operating in that moment?
Yes, I become aware of my body, and I also become aware of my of the first thoughts that pop up. Because I want to start every day with a clean mindset.
Yes.
Right. So I make sure I've emptied. I call it emptying the garbage. I make sure that I'm not waking up with something that happened yesterday.
Yes.
And if it did, I want to be very conscious and aware about it.
Yes.
So I make sure that I don't carry, because it's energy. Every thought is energy. Every feeling is energy. Every emotion is energy. So I want to have the most, by doing that, it allows me to have an openness in my energy.
Yes.
Right? So I'm not going about my day carrying 5 pounds of luggage.
Yes.
Of garbage.
Invisible. It's invisible.
Right? From yesterday, because it makes us very dense.
Yes.
It makes our energetic body very dense.
Yes.
And when we have that density, it creates a lot of static.
Yes.
And it's very, very difficult to be tuned in to the subtleness of our intuition.
Wow, that is so powerful. Yes, you hit the nail right on the head. It makes it very hard for us to tune into that subtle intuition. That's why most people go through life unaware of their intuition, really, because it can be subtle, but the more we fine tune, from what you're saying, you wake up in the morning, even if you wake up from like a terrible dream, right? When you wake up from maybe a dream that feels negative, do you sort of do something to quiet that emotion of the dream, or do you just become present, forget about it, focus in the now, in your body, fine tuning and into your emotion, into your intuition? Is that what you do?
I actually use the dream, because the dream is my subconscious talking to me.
That's right.
So I use what the dream is telling me, and usually it's what we call our shadow mind.
Okay.
Right. So the part of our mind that we're not really aware of,
okay,
or we might not be aware of, the sneaky part of the mind that kind of like is like ruling you in the background.
That's right.
So I'm very tuned into my dreams. Usually if I remember my dreams, there's a message. If I don't remember them, then there isn't anything. So I actually use my dreams. There isn't such a thing as a bad dream for me. The dream is just your subconscious trying to get your attention.
Yes.
And it is my job to pay attention.
Nice. Wow, I love it. I really love this waking up, because I'm thinking, when you wake up in the morning and you're able to tune into your consciousness on a consistent basis, then it's much more likely that throughout the day you'll be aware of the presence of who you are and your intuition. Like you said, you'll be aware of your power, your inner power, and you can move more confidently throughout your day. Right?
Absolutely. And you're not stuck in the illusion. That the dream really serves this purpose for me, is that if I'm choosing not to see something during the day, my dream will remind me.
Yes.
It will say, remember this thing you're choosing not to look at? Because sometimes we just do.
Yes, I had that experience recently. Yes.
Right. Yeah. We're not perfect. I think I remember telling you about this relationship that I was trying to break off of, and I knew intuitively that I needed to do it, and I was choosing to ignore it.
Yes.
And my dream reminded me in a very, very, very funny way And it's always our choice to listen.
Yes.
Whether we want to listen or not, right? So it's a very powerful tool, not to be dismissed.
Yes.
In my opinion, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's I have had that experience, and I know I have met people who also have experiences with dreams. They're not necessarily looking for the meaning of the dream in terms of what does this animal mean, what does they're looking at what is this dream showing me in terms of what I am resisting or moving towards, that type of thing. That's really cool. Thank you for clarifying that for us. So now I want to move into your philanthropy, because you said it is the main reason why you're wanting to be a billionaire. Tell me one cause, top of mind cause, that you will support, for sure it's guaranteed to receive a lot of your money as gift. What cause is that?
This is a cause that has been on my mind for a long time, and it's been kind of at the driving force behind wanting to do all of this is I'm going to create, I know I'm going to create tiny house communities. I want to make housing accessible.
Interesting.
And I've been fascinated by the tiny house movement pretty much since it started, and I've been following this. And so my big dream is to create entire communities of tiny houses for people that are drawn into this kind of living, this kind of minimalist living, but make it very a holistic approach where it kind of embodies all my passion with environment, in social causes, in inclusion, education. So kind of all of this, and create entire communities.
That is fantastic. Truly, truly a beautiful dream, because I can see you reaching out not only in so-called developed countries, which, by the way, they need those, right? Because just last week I was speaking with another conscious billionaire to be, and she was telling me about poverty in a certain place in New York where she grew up in, and I was like, what? Poverty in New York? But so what you're saying, I can see you reaching not only within these nations, but also nations that are that have a higher rates of poverty, and you can actually create these communities. And the great thing is, you can use your own money to do it. You can use your billionaire friends' money to do it. We're all going in to support each other to really make, huge differences. I love that idea. I want to talk more about it with you when we're done with the interview, if you don't mind.
Yes. I'd love to. Yes.
So let's transition. So now we have this philanthropy, and you're going to be a billionaire because of this calling to really give back. But what about your luxurious life as a billionaire? What about your private jets and your supercars and mansions or gifts to friends and family? What is your life going to look like? Paint us a vision of it, please.
So it's interesting for me to think about this, because I am a minimalist, and it's interesting to think of yourself as a billionaire and a minimalist, it's like the paradox of the universe, right? And so the ultimate freedom for me is to be able, I'm a globetrotter, so I just love to travel. And this is what this business is affording me to do, is I can do this business from everywhere, anywhere in the world. So I'm going to have a house here in San Diego, a house in France, in Paris. This is where I'm from.
Talk to me about that. Let me just pause and say, you're from France?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we got to talk about that. Let's talk about that, because we're definitely wanting a home in France as well. Keep going. Keep going. So exciting. Oh, I love these interviews.
So that's the ultimate freedom for me, is just to have a freedom of movement.
Yes.
A limitless freedom of movement. And create beautiful connections around this. Create beautiful connection. Help people help people with their visions. But when it comes to material, the material aspect of it, it's interesting because I think it'll come naturally.
Yes. No. Travel is, you can travel luxuriously.
Yes.
Oops, excuse me. You can travel luxuriously and really spend tons, because you have bespoke experiences with your travel, private jets, friends that you're flying to, you take curated stuff, going to places that people normally don't travel to. So you can have experiences with animals and remote corners, mountains, just expansive world, right? So yeah, I mean, travel is definitely it. And you love having homes, because you mentioned you can have a home here, home there. And that's a great idea, because having homes in different countries means you get to contribute to the taxes, right, in those areas, and you get to hire people to look after those homes, so you're still providing jobs as you go along. Plus, some of us, your billionaire friends, if I don't have a house in Greece and you have a house in Greece, well, I'm going on vacation, I simply let you know I'm using your home.
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow, that is beautiful. So are you into like cars, fast cars, things like that?
I am not. I am not. I drive an electric car. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I'll have the best electric car you can
available. Yes, yeah, and I don't know if you love to visit space, but it's $250,000 last time I heard to just for a reservation to go take a space shuttle to space. Yeah. So I mean, all kinds of experiences are available to us. That's really what I'm saying. Yeah. All kinds.
And I feel like as you up level, you just become more aware of what is what is available to you. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. Is I will know.
Yes.
I will know that I'm there.
Definitely our sphere really expands as we move into those new frequencies. Totally true. Now, with your clients, Sophie, are you incorporating this your metaphysical strategy with them? This consciousness awareness, intuitive awareness, are you're incorporating that in your business with your clients as well?
Yes, all of it.
And they're benefiting from this?
This is at the root of my business. Yes. It creates instantaneous shifts.
Wow.
It's very, it's powerful in that way. Is that it doesn't take any time. It doesn't take any time.
Very good. Thank you so much, Sophie. So just one last thing. Let's say someone were watching this video, a woman watching it, but she wants to be a billionaire, but she doesn't really see herself getting there. She's hiding, she has fear, she doesn't know how it's going to be, she has doubts, whatever the case. What sort of advice do you have for someone who wants to take this path to be a billionaire?
So that used to be me. It used to be me. I come from a place where I inherited what I call poverty consciousness, right? I come from a place where you don't talk about money, you don't talk about these kinds of dreams and goals. It's not something you do. So I had that belief, because it's a belief. It's just a belief, right? You're only as little or as big as your beliefs.
Yes.
So just that awareness alone, knowing that it's just a belief.
Yes.
And once I realized that I had that belief, you can connect to the fear behind the belief. And for me, I think I talked about it at the beginning. For me, really, the fear underneath that was the fear of success itself. the fear of just stepping up as this big, powerful, potent, divine being that I am, right? So the first step is just giving yourself permission to dream.
Yes.
I really had to give myself permission to dream, and really become aware of what was holding me back to not want to dream big. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Why can't it be accessible to me? It's accessible to everybody.
Yes.
Literally everybody. And the only thing that sits between this dream and is your mindset. And not achieving your dream is really just your mindset, right? It's the conditioning that we have. And once we become aware of that conditioning, infinite possibilities become available to us. Infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes courage. It takes courage to want to step into that realm.
Yes.
Right. It's not for the
faint-hearted.
You need to have. I always tell that to my clients. You need to have a wild heart. We all have a wild heart.
Yeah.
Some of us have just been protecting it.
Yeah.
I had it protected under layers and layers and layers of protection.
Wow.
And once I shattered all these protections, it was like, of course.
Wow. So you're advising them then to give themselves permission to dream. Use this metaphysical strategy of waking up in the morning and connecting to their body and intuition, being aware of their own power, give themselves permission to release the layers of protection that they have over their heart so their wild hearts can be released. That's powerful. Thank you.
Anything you can imagine is attainable. Just imagine what it looks like to you.
Exactly. Even if the how it hasn't presented itself yet.
You don't need the how. The how gets in your way.
Yeah.
The how, you ask for what you want. The how will show.
Yes.
You will actually doesn't make any sense what I just said. You will be shown how. Right? This is what what do you call him? Your juju?
Yes, your great juju. Yes, your great juju.
What your great juju is there for. Is there to show you how.
Exactly. Wow. Sophie, thank you so much for this interview. It's really been fun chatting with you. And if people want to contact you, they can reach you on Facebook, Sophie Mahoney. Or what do you have a website or?
So my website is under construction. So the best way to reach me is send me a private message on Facebook and we can get on a call.
Sounds wonderful.
So much, Fri. Thank you. It's been so much fun to talk to you.
Great. I enjoyed it and learned so much. And we're gonna continue the talk later because I want to learn more about the tiny communities and your philanthropic dreams. Because we're gonna be partnering with all of that as we step into our billionaire levels.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, and everyone who's watching, it was great. We have a lot of these videos. I encourage you to take a look at another Conscious Billionaire video that we did. Thanks so much.